great day, everybody. Thank you, Father God. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for another blessed day. Y'all already know it's King T420 SEC, and this is Smoking with the King. Yes, sir. God bless a great day, everybody. Thank God it's Friday. I'm glad everybody came to join. Glad somebody want to get this good word, because y'all already know we're going to be kicking some shit today. It is Friday. Hope everybody having a great day. Hope you had a good day at work. Hope it was a breeze. You feel me? Because who don't want to have a good day at work on the last day of the week? You feel me? Smoking with the King going to be a special episode today. Everybody see the topic. I already know, but y'all know I ain't going to say the topic till after I read the first couple scriptures. And I'm going to get to the couple scriptures after I hit the blunt a couple times. And y'all tell me how y'all doing in the comments. How y'all doing? What's going on, everybody? What's the word? What's the word on this Good Friday? Y'all know how we like to do. We like to be all the way active and all the way involved. We need everybody that's in the room, tap the screen, send a message. Be involved. Be involved. Be involved, people. I need people to be involved. Join the squad. You feel me? Join the team. I love it when niggas join the team. I love it when we get new ladies on the squad. Listen. Smoke game growing every day. I don't never say nothing to nobody. I just let it grow. So once it get to a place where it's supposed to be, it ain't gonna be no, oh man, you had asked me to join back. We don't need no new members now. We gonna have to go through a whole process now. We straight now. But okay, we'll deal with that later. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and jump off into the show. Right? Let me hit the ball one more time. Alright, cool. So the first verse that I'm going to read y'all today comes from Proverbs 27 and 17. The King James Version. Y'all know I read the King James Version and the NIV. In case anybody, doesn't understand the KJV. Let me see if I can get me some action here. I can't get no action on this phone. We're going to just let that do what it's doing for a minute. Because whatever happening with that, we ain't going to worry about that. But Proverbs 27:17, KJV first. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friends. Cool. The NIV verse. Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Y'all know I'm going to get to the breakdown of the verse soon. We're going to read the second verse, and then we're going to go to the show opener. So, Proverbs 31:26 and 27. That is the second verse, coming from the King James Version first, then I'll read the NIV. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. So I'm going to read the NIV because I know that one was a little like, where that one going. So don't worry, I got the NIV and I'm going to do a breakdown. We're going to come back and do a breakdown. So she speaks with wisdom. This is the NIV verse, Proverbs 31:26 and 27. Forgive me, before we go. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of the idleness. Right? I told y'all I got a breakdown, but before we get to the breakdown, y'all know how I like to do. I read the scriptures first, purposely, because there's something behind that. So let's jump off into the show. Okay, Smoke Gang. I am going to get right to it. The name of this episode is Inspire or Expire. I named this for a few reasons, but the main one is that a woman's word can make a man or break a man. So listen, for all those who already know that a woman's word can make you or break you, I didn't come up with this topic today just because. I came up with this topic today because It's some people out here who need some inspiration. It's some people out here today who've been needing to hear some good things. And I don't really know what's been going on with the ladies, but some of the ladies, a lot of the ladies, have been tearing down the men. They haven't been teaching the men, talking to men about good things. They haven't been doing good things with the men and things like that. And a lady can be a man's biggest muse. I tell women this all the time. Like, you can change a man's whole perspective of life. Not only change his whole perspective of life, but you can give him the inspiration that he needs to move forward, right? So, a woman's word can make a man or break a man. She can crush his spirit or make him feel like a king. Women have the power in the tongue to tear a man down so much that some men go and unalive themselves. Women have so much power in their tongues that they can make a man so angry that he goes and commits a crime that will take his life from him for the rest of his life. He will sit behind bars for the rest of his life because a woman's words made that man so angry it was nothing he could do about it, right? So pay attention. A woman's words can crush a man's spirit, or she can make him feel like a king. Now don't get me wrong, this is not just about the women. It is about both sides being out of position. So what do I mean by that? Both sides being out of position, right? So the women are supposed to be feminine, beautiful, inspirational, submissive, supportive. Men are supposed to be confident, intelligent, and assertive. But a lot of these men nowadays, they not like that. They're not confident, they're not intelligent, and they don't assert themselves to do much of nothing except for sit around, play the game, go out, get drunk, hit the streets, and just do a bunch of childish, wild, crazy things that lead to jail, hell, or whatever, comes behind that, right? So, we got to get to a place where it's not the men not being leaders and the women not being muses. We got to get to a place where the women want to be the muses and they want to inspire and they want to motivate the men. We got to get to a place where the men are leading and they're being inspired to do better, to do positive, to be optimistic, right? All right, so let's go back. Let's get some scripture breakdown now. So, I'm going to do the NIV because the NIV is simpler for a lot of people to understand. And I give you the breakdown behind that. So, Proverbs 27:17 NIV. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. This verse shows us about mutual elevation. That is mutual respect, mutual kindness, mutual love between two people, mutual understanding between two people, mutual elevation, right? Real relationships, whether friendships or romantic, are supposed to build, refine, and sharpen each other. So if you have a relationship with somebody, no matter who it is, family member, any kind of loved one, just one of your friends, somebody you're intimate with, whatever the case might be, if y'all are friends, y'all are supposed to help each other become wiser. Y'all are supposed to help each other gain knowledge that the other may not have, right? So, iron sharpens iron. So you may know something and your friend may know something to go on top of what you know. Or your friend might know something and you might know something that can help upgrade what your friend knows. Either way it go, iron sharpens iron. That's what it means. It means people together help each other grow. People together, they come together and they help each other build things together. They help each other build character. So again, iron sharpens iron. It's a reason that God made it this way. So, real relationships, whether friendship or romantic, are supposed to build, refine, and sharpen each other, not tear down and not compete. So, if you're in a relationship with somebody, no matter, again, friendship, family, intimacy, you are not supposed to be in that relationship competing with the person that you're in a relationship with. Literally, there is no competition between the people that you are supposed to love. We are all supposed to be good in some area in life, and we are all supposed to be able to help others in some areas in life. This is how God made it on purpose. This is not a competition. You're not supposed to compete with your mate. You're not supposed to be the one that's always at odds with your mate because you think that, I can do it better than you. I know I can. Just keep on letting me try. In a relationship, no matter what the relationship might be, you're not supposed to tear down your mate. You're not supposed to call your mate all out of their name. You're not supposed to speak ill over your mate or about your mate. You're not supposed to be all on the phone with your homeboys or your homegirls talking down on your mate because you in your feelings today, because you done got butt hurt because they chose to tell you no, or because they chose to do something other than what you wanted them to do. You cannot be the person that's supposed to love this person, whoever this person might be, and then you come around and want to tear that person down just because y'all might not see eye to eye right at the moment, just because some things are not going the way that you planned, right? So, if both sides aren't getting better, something is off. That means there is not a mutual respect between the two parties. If and when the mutual elevation is not equal between the two. And that means if the two parties, if the relationship between the two people is not growing and elevating together, that means there's something in the midst of there's a rift there somewhere that's tearing the two people apart. Now, whether you know it or not, one person can be completely genuine about their feelings, but if the elevation is not mutual, then that means somebody is not being honest about how they feel about the other person. And what can you do about that, right? You have to figure it out. You have to see. You have to constantly be in prayer. You have to constantly be being focused on the people that claim they're your friends and the people who you claim that you're their friends. You have to pay attention because sometimes people fall off in elevation not mutual because they don't feel that they can do better. And as your friend, you got to allow them to go through their feelings, but also reassure them that if I can do it, I know you can do it if this is what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So we always have to be good, and we always have to be humble, and knowing that we can't be arrogant because we can do something and someone else can't do it, especially if it's supposed to be our friend or our loved one. We have to always keep that in mind. Okay, right. And again, the mutual respect between two people. No matter the relationship, if the respect starts to fade in the relationship, then of course there's not mutual elevation. Because in mutual elevation, both people have a mutual respect and a mutual love for each other. Meaning they're not going to talk about that person behind their back. Meaning they're not going to be the person with someone else and letting that someone else talk about that person behind their back. You understand? Like, because there's a mutual respect. There's a mutual love. There is no judgment for one another because of the mutual respect and the mutual love. Therefore, I'm not going to be around, or they're not going to be around someone who's talking down on this person who you have this mutual respect for and this mutual love for, knowing that they're the same way with you around other people. So forward we go. So, we are going to read Proverbs 31, 26, and 27 out of the NIV, and I will give y'all a breakdown of that verse as well. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household. and does not eat the bread of the idleness. So what does this mean? This verse shows the power and influence of a woman in her right position. That verse shows us, we about to get into it. We about to get into it, y'all. That verse shows us that a woman with the right mind state can not only elevate a man and help him keep a kingdom running smooth like a kingdom should, but that same woman can use those same words and tear down the whole kingdom just because of the words that she used. So basically what that verse is telling us is that if the woman if she's right standing in her mindset, if her spirit is good, then she should do nothing but multiply and elevate those in her household. That's how it works. I didn't say it. It's straight out the good book. You understand? So women are supposed to inspire and motivate. They're supposed to be feminine, beautiful, inspirational, submissive, and supportive. This is what women are supposed to do. They're natural nurturers, so they're supposed to be natural nurturers. So that means the inspiration and the motivation is supposed to come naturally most of the time, right? Let's finish. So, this verse shows the power and influence of a woman in her right position. Not weak, but wise, intentional, and impactful. Not only is she very intentional about her actions and about the things that she speaks, but about the impact that she knows that she can have on the man in her life that she calls her man, about the impact that she can have on the children that they may have, about the impact that she has on the people that are around her. See, a real woman knows at all times how she carries herself, and how people perceive her. It also gives people a perception of how home is, right? Because most people can't look at a man and tell how home is just by how he carries himself. But with a woman, most people can look at a woman and how she carries herself, and they can be like, oh, she got a nice home life. Well, oh shit, it don't look like she living too good at home. She might need some help. But either way it go, by the way a woman carries herself, the influence and the impact that she brings with her, people can read what type of life she has at home, what type of lifestyle she got, just by the influence that she carries and by the impact that she holds. Before we go, she brings structure, peace, and guidance. Oh, that one deep right there, right? Because I know we all know the verse of the Bible where it's like, women are supposed to be leading men, women are not supposed to be teaching men. Very true. These are facts. But it never said that a woman couldn't have wise counsel. It never said that a woman could not have wisdom as well, because just as well as a man goes through and grows through life and gains wisdom and knowledge, a woman goes through and grows through life and gains wisdom and knowledge. So she can be a guide for a young woman. She can be a guide for a young man who's never had a father. She's going to point him to a elder gentleman who can also lead him into being a leader like he's supposed to be. So, women, they bring peace. Real women who inspire, they bring peace. There's not a time where a woman can be in a household where she's inspiring, she's motivating, where she's feminine, beautiful, inspirational, submissive, and supportive, and she's not bringing peace. All those things together just say she brings peace. But a lot of y'all have not been doing that part. The peace part has been far and thrown away. It's gone. It's long gone. People been looking for it. Everybody been like, damn, nobody get no peace. The women can't have no peace. The man can't have no peace. And most of the time it's because the woman is not walking in her nurturing spirit. Women are supposed to always walk in their nurturing spirit. It's a reason that you're feminine and beautiful and inspirational and submissive and supportive. Because if you live in that energy, everybody around you will thrive. Everybody around you will do good. Because you as the woman are the muse. You can inspire or expire. Before we go. That's real inspiration. Not just looks, but presence and purpose. That's because a real woman, when she comes around, she's gonna have, her presence is gonna be felt just by her being there. Because real women don't just come around and talk. Let me repeat that. Real women don't just come around and run their mouths. They come around and they show fit by the actions that they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just, oh, she gonna come around and she gonna gossip. No, she gonna come around and she gonna help. She gonna come around, she got some good advice. She gonna come around and she might show the young lady over here how to be a better young lady. As the verse said, the words of her tongue are kindness. You understand? So she's gonna come around and she's gonna be feminine because that's just who she is. She doesn't know nothing else. Before we go, Smoke Gang, where we at with it? Alright, let's get it. I named this for a few reasons, but the main one is that a woman's word can make a man or break a man. She can crush his spirit or make him feel like a king. Now don't get it wrong. This is not just about women. It is about both sides being out of position, right? We don't just have women not inspiring. We have men not leading either. So, to add on to the fact that the women are out here being more masculine, being more strong and independent, and not inspiring the men, not inspiring the young ladies to be young ladies, not inspiring the men to be leaders, not inspiring the men to open the business, not inspiring the man to get out the bed and go do the job, baby. I know you can do it. They're not giving that extra oomph that most men need in a relationship, right? But again, it's not all about the women, right? Because if they're not being led by good men, if they're not being taught how to be nurturers from the beginning, feminine, beautiful, inspirational, submissive, and supportive, if they're not being led by their fathers, then most women end up in survival mode. And we all know how that goes, but we're going to get to that too. Right? Some women not supportive, not peaceful, not inspiring. And it's just real. Some women are not. Because like I said, these women end up in survival mode. They've never been taught how to be those things. So they don't know nothing about being those things. All they know is shit. I ain't had no daddy. My mama was out here dealing with a bunch of dudes. And even if I don't want to deal with a bunch of dudes, I got to be strong enough to take care of me. And if I have a kid, I got to be strong enough to take care of me and the kid. And I ain't never really been taught accountability and responsibility. But I'm going to try the best I can. And we all know a try equals a fail. You trying going to lead to you failing. So you got to work on it and you got to work hard at it. Right? And most women get that a little confused. They feel like because they tried, then they did their best. And as men, we know you tried, you ain't do your best. When you worked hard on it, you will complete it and you will accomplish it. Before we go though, 1 second, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Yeah. Some men not disciplined, not confident, not built. And that is real as well. Some men didn't have fathers, right? And not having a father, you not really taught how to work with your hands. Not having a father, you not really taught that you got to be tough. You got to take a couple licks sometimes. Not having a father, you not taught that you may have to think for yourself as a man and lead yourself. And you got to lead yourself before you can lead somebody else. So if this young man has never been raised by a man to know that he's a leader and he has responsibility and he has the world on his shoulder and he can bear it, if he doesn't know this, then he will not know how to do this. It's impossible if he ain't never been taught it, right? So where we at? Discipline. Let's get to it. So, discipline comes from being raised by a man, as a young man, being raised by another man. A man is going to discipline that young man to know right from wrong, to know what he can do and what he can't do. And also growing in that relationship, building throughout the discipline, a man is taught to build confidence. See, men, we are taught that our confidence don't come from good looks. Our confidence comes from our actions. Our confidence comes from our accomplishments. Our confidence comes from us getting things done. See, we're not taught like women. Women's confidence comes from they can go look in the mirror. Oh, she beautiful, she pretty, she working on her body T, as they say. She doing her thing. So she's extra confident. But a man, not so much. A man can't just go stand in the mirror and be like, oh yeah, it's body T, he's super fly, haircut, all this, but he ain't got a job and he ain't accomplishing nothing. So his confidence not at the 10 that he think it should be, because he looking in the mirror and think to myself, what the fuck can I do today? How can I change my situation? He not thinking, oh, my body T, oh, I look good, I'm 6-pack, and I'm 6 feet. That ain't what he thinking. So we were raised different. The confidence in the man comes from knowing that I can take care of the situation without nobody's help. Or with the help of my wife, my woman, my queen. And I ain't have to go to no outside sources. And we still building, and he still leading. That's where man's confidence comes from. Not from, oh, he looked good today, or he didn't got a bunch of compliments. That ain't how I work with men. We don't really give a shit about my compliments. Fuck you and the compliment. You like the shit that I built? Tell me you like the shit that I built, and then, now that's a fucking compliment. You heard me? And that's just how men are. But you know, some people don't know these things. So a lot of these issues started with broken homes. And we all know that in the black community, it was a lot of broken homes. It was a lot of missed fathers. It was shit. It was some missed mothers because drugs or drug dealing or jail or Lord rest some of their souls, God rest, you know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of things that happened in the black community where we had broken homes, which in turn made it where women were in survival mode and men weren't taught logic and rational. They weren't taught to think like a logical, rational man. You know what I'm saying? And women weren't taught to be feminine, beautiful, inspirational, submissive, and supportive. Women were taught you got to go out here and get it how you live. Somebody gonna help you. Some dude to give it to you just because you pretty. Men, on the other hand, was taught, shit, if you don't get out here and get $1, ain't nobody gonna help you. Ain't no laying down. You just got to get out here and do it. So, with that being said, nobody was taught how to think correctly. We were all taught how to think out of survival, out of can I last another day? Will I make it till tomorrow? So it's all a mindset thing. It's all a mind change. But the thing is if we don't see that we're walking in the same patterns, if we don't see that we're doing the same things, if we don't see that we're not teaching the younger people not to be like this because this is going to lead you to here, then there's something off. There's something wrong. But before we go. So, boys raised without fathers don't learn how to lead. They don't learn how to lead because they're not taught logical, rational thinking. So emotions and feelings take control whenever they have an emotion, whenever they have an angry thought. Anger takes over. Whenever they get too sad or depressed, they don't want to come out. They don't want to talk to nobody. They don't want to deal. Men weren't taught to have rational, logical thoughts. They weren't taught that you got to be built, as they used to say, Ford tough, right? You got to be able to withstand the storm. You got to be able to take your coat off in the cold and put it on your girl and walk her in the cold, in the rain to the car and be okay with that. But see, that's what men were taught back then. Nowadays, men are taught No, it's okay if you don't want to take off your coat. You were cold too, right? No. It's okay if you don't want to go around there and open her door. Women have equal rights. See, the things that are being taught to men nowadays are only being taught to them because they're making men emotional. They're not giving men rational, logical thoughts. They're telling men that you can think and act out of your feelings. And this is why so many men in our community are sensitive or, not straight anymore, or not as masculine as men used to be, because they're not being raised that they have to have rational, logical thoughts, and that they have to be tough. They got to be able to take a blow or two. They got to be able to be called ugly and accept being like, I don't give a fuck you call me ugly. What do that mean? Can you build the shit that I just built? See, and that's what I'm saying. The men nowadays, they're getting their feelings when a woman call them ugly. Like, fuck you mean I'm ugly? I'm the shit, this, that, and that. When I was growing up, we didn't give a fuck a woman called us ugly. She called us ugly. That really meant she liked you. But see, y'all weren't raised right. Y'all were taught differently, right? Y'all was taught that your feelings supposed to matter. Me, on the other hand, I was taught put your feelings in the bottom of your shoes and walk on them. Persistence wins every time. A girl might call you ugly today, and you being persistent might make her marry you a year from now. So, let me tell you something as a young man. Don't never let your confidence lie in your feelings and your emotions. Never let your confidence lie in a compliment from a woman saying, oh, you look nice. I like how you dress. Yeah, it feel good and all, but let your confidence lie in your accomplishments. Let your confidence lie in knowing that you moving forward in life and you progressing positively in life. Let your confidence lie there and not just in the inspiration of a woman. Before we go. So, boys raised without fathers don't learn how to lead, not taught logical and rational thinking, so emotions and feelings take over. Women raised in survival mode don't learn how to love or trust. When a woman's never learned how to be feminine, beautiful, inspirational, submissive, and supportive, all she knows is survival mode. So let's talk about it. If a woman has never been raised that she's a nurturer, if a woman has never been raised that she's the one that's supposed to have the loving, kind words, if a woman has never been raised that she's the one that people are supposed to go to and lean on when they got some hurt in their heart, and she's never been raised to know that she's supposed to be the one with the loving, healing, kindness, compassion, and understanding, and supposed to be able to give those things. If she's never been raised like that, and she's only been raised in survival mode, then she knows not how to love the man who's trying to give her regular, genuine love and affection because he was raised by a nice family, because he was raised with a mother and father who taught him how to be a man, how to lead, how to go forward in life and be positive and do positive and be progressive, right? So she doesn't know how to accept that because all she knows is how to survive. She's taught, I got to get this. I got to go out here and get that. I got to use this to get that, and I can use this to get that. This is what she was taught. She was never taught, no, well, when you're in a situation and you're loving a man, you have to hold that man down. You got to be there for him. You got to be the feminine, beautiful, inspirational, submissive, and supportive woman that he needs on a daily basis, because he's going to constantly have a battle with the world whenever he leaves out the door. So women weren't taught that. And some men weren't taught that you got to be able to survive that battle with or without that woman. Facts. Some of y'all just soft though. That's just the truth. And I ain't scared to tell you to your face. But before we go, right? You cannot expect inspiration from someone who had to survive instead of being nurtured. So you can't expect for some of these women to be nurturing, feminine, beautiful, inspirational, submissive, and supportive women when they didn't come from a home where they were raised by nurturers, where they were raised by a man who was a disciplinary and a leader, where they was raised by a woman who was always feminine, beautiful, inspirational, submissive, and supportive. She was always supporting her man. She was always being submissive to her husband. She was always showing the children that she was a feminine vessel in the house. She was not the one that was trying to be masculine and walk around leading with her chest all out and telling everybody what to do. Right? So if she grow up in a house like that where she's taught survival and he grew up in a house where he's taught how to be a husband, the two may never be able to connect ever, because she may not ever see that she doesn't know how to love him. She may not never see that she's never been taught how to be a nurturer, right? She may not never see these things because, again, if you ain't never been taught, if you already stuck in your ways, this is what I know, this is what I've been taught, you can't tell me, then a person may never change, right? She may think that her whole life. Like, she may think she loving people correctly, and she's really not. Where we go though? Alright. So the main issues I see here are men want peace, but don't always provide stability. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Men like to be able to think so they can create. Men like to be able to think so they can be 4, 5, 10 moves ahead. Men like to be able to think, and in order to think, you gotta have peace. Right? Facts. But you can't have peace if you don't have stability. If there is shaky grounds, if the foundation is not sturdy, that means there is no peace, because there's constant worry about the foundation crumbling. So there is no peace. So if a man wasn't raised that he has to be stable, he has to be rooted and grounded in what he believes in and what he's doing and the actions that he's taking, then he unstable. Then he can't lead her, because he can't really lead himself. He's still unstable and unsure of himself. He unsure of the moves that he making himself. He don't know if he taking the right step or not, because he unstable. Right? It's hard for a man to provide if he's not stable enough to even provide for himself. How can a man be a provider if it's hard for him right now to provide a meal for himself? Well, I'm going to let you in on the secret. Money is not the only thing that men provide. Men provide knowledge. They provide wisdom. They provide guidance. They provide a few other things other than just monetary, right? So this is how a man can be a provider, right? You can't just knock yourself because you're not in a position to go in your pocket and pull out all the money and just be able to take care of all the problems right now. Don't always happen like that. You got to work hard to get to a position where you can just go in your pocket and take care of all the problems right now. People had to work 20, 30, 40 years to get into a position where they had so much money where they can cover everybody that they know and still be comfortable covering. You understand? So you can't be mad if you're a young man, if you've never been taught to be stable or how to do stable things or how to even get into a stable situation, right? So you just have to work on it. You got to work on you. You can't stop. You can't be all like, forget it, getting your feelings, be like, I give up. Fuck it, I'm gonna figure something else out. I'm gonna just go work at Burger King. Which, if you want to just go work at Burger King, that's fine with me. But on the flip side of that, if you was already building something, if you was already putting your time and the effort into something, don't quit on what you was building now. You gotta go harder. You a young man. You see what I'm saying? You gotta be stable in your faith in what you're doing. you got to be grounded and rooted in the Lord Jesus Christ. And you got to be grounded and rooted knowing that your faith and your work is going to reap what you're going to sow, what you reap. You got to know this. And you got to keep putting forth the effort. You got to keep putting forth the word. You got to keep putting forth the work. You got to keep going. You can't stop. Sometimes your inspiration not going to come from that woman. Sometimes your inspiration got to come from knowing when you accomplish the goal, when you complete building what you're working on building, the feeling that you're going to get, the lives that it's going to change, the people that are going to be grateful that you did what you did. Sometimes you got to let that be your inspiration as a man, right? This is how you become the man who can have a stable ground and have a peaceful home and be the provider that you're looking to be. So, the other issue I see, women want leadership, but don't always trust the man who they picked to lead. So, a lot of women want to be led. They want you to lead them, but they've been through so much stuff that it's hard for them to trust you to lead them. Because again, they've been through so much that it's hard for them to let their guard down and be like, yo, okay, I can follow you. Okay, I believe you. Okay, I don't think you lying to me. It's hard for them to believe now. It's hard for them to trust now because they've been lied to. They've been abused. They've been misled. They've been manipulated. They've been cheated on. So it's hard for a woman to accept the leadership of the man that she chose because all of the things that she's been through in her past. And you can't be mad at her for the things that she's been through. But you can talk to her and tell her that she has to take accountability for the actions that she takes while she's with you. But also, you have to know, as the man, as the leader, you have to be understanding to the fact that it may take her some time to get over some of those traumas, and you may have to forgive her a few times because she may get a little emotional and want to lash out and say a few things to you because that's just how women do. You understand? That's their only defense as a woman in a relationship, is to lash out at her man and to say certain things when she gets emotional. And as a man, you can calm her down and get her to understand that you have understanding and she's still healing and that she has to get over that. And you can help her get over that just by talking to her. You ain't got to be all mad, angry, and be all cussing her out and calling her all names and all that. That's not what a leader does. How can you be a leader and you just as emotional as the person you trying to get out their emotions? It's not how leaders work. But before we go, right? Before we go, this is not a gender problem. This is a trust issue. So, this is not just a trust thing on the women's side either. This is a trust thing on the men's side. Sometimes the men don't trust themselves to carry out the plans that they put forth themselves. Sometimes men getting their feelings and think that they done put all this effort and all this work into something, and when it doesn't work the way that they feel like it should work, they give up, they quit, they lash out, they have moments, all type of stuff, right? So this is why I talk about men should always think logical and rational. A man cannot be a leader if he is emotional. If you are emotional as a man, that means you may get into you may be out with your lady, having a nice little dinner, nice little restaurant, and a girl look over and say something to your lady, and you may get more emotional than your lady and start cussing the lady out at the dinner. How that look as a man? I'm just trying to figure it out because some of you dudes, y'all really don't have an understanding of the fact that y'all get emotional about everything. Y'all literally be in y'all feelings about almost every action. Nobody can talk to y'all about anything. Nobody can tell you like maybe this is a better route. Nobody can be like, yo, well, when you did that over there, I probably wouldn't have did that. Because instead of being men and being logical and rational and hearing what somebody's telling you, constructive criticism can change your life for the better, you lash out like females do. You get in your feelings, you get all emotional, and then you miss the blessing that God gave you, and then you get set back another 10, 20 steps because now you done fucked up this whole moment. You done fucked up with that right there. So now you got to start building all over again because as a man, you got in your feelings and you got emotional. And in there lies the problem. And that's why I say men should never be, you as a man, you should never be emotional. Always think rational and logical, and you gotta have faith in your steps. As a man, you gotta have faith in your own actions. If you don't trust you, if you don't feel like you can lead you, how do you think the woman in your life gonna feel like she can trust you and she gonna feel like you can lead her? Right? So with that said, this is where I'm at with it. We keep pointing fingers. But nobody working on fixing themselves. So this flat out my call to action to y'all, right? This is my call to action to all of you all. If you watching, I pray you hear me. Nobody is working on fixing themselves. A broken man can't lead, and a guarded woman in survival mode can't be feminine, beautiful, inspirational, submissive, and supportive. Everybody talking about what the other side not doing, but the real question is, what are you doing and what are you becoming? So, are you becoming the person that you would love to date? Are you becoming the person that you would want your child to date? Are you becoming the person who should be a married man or a married woman? Are you becoming the person? Are you doing the things that you would want someone else to do for you? Are you adding value into someone else's life like you would want someone to add value into your life? These are all the small little questions that you can ask yourself that can fix your relationship right now. It won't take a day or two. It won't take a week, a month. You can always look at yourself first. You can see, did I handle this situation better, right? Because just because women are the muses, fellas, just because women are the muses, don't mean you can't inspire her to be a better woman. If you're a real man and a real leader, it's part of your job to help her become a better woman, to show her where she not being ladylike, to show her where she acting like she don't have morals and values and standards, to point out little small things to her where she's being, very, very unladylike, right? It's your job as a man to do that. Most men is doing the right thing, inspire their woman anyway. She inspired just by him being who he is. So this is what I'm telling you, as men, y'all got to start looking at yourself. Y'all can't keep pointing and blaming the women for what's going on in all the relationships. Y'all can't keep pointing and blaming the women and saying, well, she don't act right. She ain't doing this right. I asked her to do this and she ain't doing this. I asked her to do that and she don't want to do that. You got to be a man and take accountability. She'll never take accountability ever in a relationship with you if you, as a man, not going to take accountability first. You are the leader. You got to always be accountable at all times. There's never a time where a man should not be accountable for his actions and him protecting and providing for the people that are around him. It's never a time where he should be able to be like, oh, well, she just wasn't acting right last night, so I just decided I just went over to the homegirl crib and stayed over there. What do you mean? That's your woman, nigga. If she wasn't acting right, you was supposed to went home and figured out what the issue was. You understand? As a man, you have to get her to become a better lady. All women ain't ladies, and all ladies would tell you that, yeah, I'm a woman, but I'm also a lady, because ladies and ladies and bitches are different. Ladies and hoes are different. I mean, I know y'all as men, y'all with me, y'all get where I'm going with this, right? So, as a man, you got to point out things to your lady as the leader, so she'll understand, like, when she's not being the queen. If you are a king, she's supposed to always act like a queen. It's never supposed to be a situation she in where she not acting like a queen. Queens ain't mouthy. Queens ain't always running off at the lip talking back to the king. Queens ain't always gossiping around the court. So as a man, you got to let your lady know when she's stepping outside her boundaries, when she's stepping outside herself, when she's not being such a lady, right? Okay. Alright, Smoke Gang. Men, build yourselves into something worth following. You cannot be the leader if you haven't built yourself into someone that people want to listen to, into someone that people actually adore a little bit, someone that people be like, yo, my man, he on the right path, he doing the right thing, he doing positive things in his life, and he moving forward in his life. Young men, as men, you have to build yourself into the person that you want to become. You can't sit back and think someone is gonna give you the lifestyle that you desire, because that's not how it works. It don't even work like that for women. Little do y'all know. See, our value as a man comes from our accomplishments. A woman's value, like I told y'all in the beginning, comes from her being beautiful. So, yes, men give women a lot of things, but not every woman get those things. So pay attention, because not every woman works hard at keeping herself beautiful. Not every woman works hard at keeping herself in shape, keeping herself in the gym 5 days out the week, keeping herself eating a vegetarian meal throughout the month. You know what I'm saying? Not every woman deserves those things. And as a man, not every man deserves to be a king. Not every man is moving like he's confident, intelligent, and assertive. Not every man is moving like he has faith and he's grounded in who he's becoming. Not every man is working with his hands to build something and feel good about taking care of the things that he can take care of and taking care of others. As a man, as a king, what do y'all think kings do? Kings take care of whole kingdoms, whole castles, and whole empires. They literally take care of. Like, as a man, you can't get mad when you the one that got the money and don't nobody else got the money. Sometimes it ain't their turn. But if it is your turn, live in your motherfucking pure kingness and fucking hold on and hold everybody down like a real king do. It's what you do. It's not a job for you to complain if you think you a king. It's not a job for you to be worrying the queen and the prince and the princess about what the king has to think about in order to make the next cow come in for him to chop up and feed the kingdom. That's not their problem. It's not for them to think about. That's why you the king. That's why you want to be the leader. You stepped in them shoes. Now you got to walk in them shoes. Heavy is the crown. Heavy is the head that wear the crown. That's right. You have a big job now. Your job ain't just, well, all right, I could do this and shit, me and my girl and the kids would be straight, but I don't know about my mind, her mind, my cousin and her cousin. I don't know about all them. No. As a king, you got to worry about everybody. You got to want to take care of your family, her family, and families to come. Because you the king. You can't just set foot and be like, well, as long as I'm taking care of me and mine, then I'm doing all right. No, you're not doing all right. You doing the bare minimum for real. Because real kings take care of kingdoms. Real kings take care of their kingdom and other kingdoms. Oh, slapping the shit out of some of y'all with that one, huh? Because y'all grown men and y'all got problems helping y'all people. Y'all got problems giving away money. Why the fuck would I give some money to another nigga? Because you claim you a king, right? You claim you a boss, right? You claim you got this status. You this elevated person, right? So why you not acting like it? Because kings never complained about having to fucking take care of the fucking people in the kingdom. They complained about all the fucking things that they had to keep upgrading in the kingdom because it was so many people. And the only complaint was they didn't know how they were going to get what they needed to get to upgrade it. But guess what? They still never complained to the motherfucking people and the queen about it. While all y'all running around here, y'all feelings mad, butt hurt. She want all this, she want all that. You picked her. You knew who she was when you picked her. Yeah, I'm going down that line today because I'm tired of y'all. We can always say, you know, the women should have picked better. Yes, of course, women should look and choose and vet the men that they date a lot better. But as men, there's no excuse for you. If you looked at her and thought she had a nice body and you just wanted to jump into bed with her and you did not vet that woman properly, you have to accept. You got to accept that. You got to run with that because you did that. As a man, you chose to lead yourself down that path. So who supposed to change it? Is she supposed to change because you didn't properly vet her? She was who she was when you met her. And that's the thing. You can't be a leader if you don't even know how to vet the woman that you're supposed to be leading. Okay, before we go. Women become something worth being inspired by. Women, I'm going to need y'all to cover up. Flat out. I'm going to need y'all to start wearing some clothes. I'm going to need y'all to start acting like y'all know that y'all are young ladies, that y'all are growing to be queens. I'm going to need y'all to stop talking all nasty, watch the words that come out your mouth, stop doing all this nasty shit all over the internet like it's cool. I can be open and free with my sexuality. No, the fuck you can't. No, you can't. And then y'all wonder why y'all can't find men who actually want to marry y'all. What man wants to marry a woman who freely tells the world, well, I'll be a hoe for the right price? As a matter of fact, I'll be anybody's hoe for the right price. You know what? I got a website you can go to right now. I'm your hoe right now. See, don't nobody tell y'all that y'all disrespecting yourself every time y'all upload a link talking about this is my OnlyFans or whatever the case might be. Or wherever you at showing your body half naked, to naked for $5, $10, $20 a month. Right? See, there are some men out here who actually vet their women and they would never date you no matter how beautiful you are, no matter how much money you make, no matter how smart you think you are, right? Because some men just have a certain kind of respect for themselves where they're not going to do that. They're not going to have that. Why would I date you when I know the whole world has seen you? Why would I put time and effort into getting to know you when you done already showed everybody the gifts that I thought I was going to get once I got to know you? All I got to do is go and pay $5.99. So, young ladies, I'm telling y'all that y'all got to stop with all this. Y'all got to stop with all this going outside naked. Y'all got to stop with all this fuck my baby daddy shit. Y'all got to stop with all this, oh shit, I just wanted to have a baby by him. I ain't want to be with him. Y'all got to stop with all this negative energy that y'all putting in the world. Y'all are the natural nurturers of the world. Women are the natural healers of the world. Y'all are supposed to be kind. You're supposed to have kind words. And you're supposed to give off kind words. Your words, ladies, make people and break people. Your words, ladies, they inspire or expire people. And this is what I needed y'all to know. As much as I love the black community, I need us to do the things that we need to do to come back together, to be healed from the things that we're going through, so we can start trusting each other again. We can start having marriages again. We can start having foundational homes, or as they call them, nuclear families. A mother, a father, and children, all under the same roof, all loving each other, and the father leading, and the mother submitting to the father and leading the children under the father so they can follow the father. This is what we need back into our communities. And I love you guys, and I want you guys to always know this, that I'm always rooting for us. I'm going to always come in. I'm going to always give a positive word. I'm going to always let whatever God has told me to tell y'all, I'm going to always tell y'all. I ain't going to never let nothing stop me, right? I just really appreciate y'all, and I want y'all to know that. I appreciate y'all for not only listening to me and hearing me, but for working on yourselves and doing the right things and getting yourselves together and putting in the work and changing for the better. You feel me? Because there's still some people that's not doing that, but I appreciate the ones that are, right? So there's the solution. Because if we don't fix this, we're both going to keep suffering. And again, this is not a men versus women's thing. This is a broken versus rebuilt thing. And I'm saying this is our time, and we have to rebuild. I love you guys. I am King T420 SCC. I definitely love bringing you guys this information, love inspiring y'all and motivating y'all to do better and be better. And I'm going to keep coming. I told y'all I ain't going to stop. Nothing going to stop me. I don't really care, right? Because God lead me to do this, and nobody can stop what God has led. You feel me? So again, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I will see you guys next week. Same time, same place. 4:20 Eastern Time. Smoking with the King, gang. Smoke gang.